next. And this is it. I'm really with the shits. I'm just trying to get rich. I'm all about the money, not the glam and the glitz. Give a fuck about it.
Hey everybody, my name is Cain Wallace.
I'm Ricky Napier.
And this is our podcast that we are starting up. What are we calling it?
Beers and Boards.
Okay. So explain the name for us because, like me, it might be a little confusing to some people.
Boards is scoreboards. You have scoreboards of basketball, football, every fucking sporting event.
Okay. And then the beers. We don't got any beers up here. What's going on?
We do not have any beers for this episode. But the plan is eventually, so starting next week, we will start it where we'll have some, not a draft beer, just
like a local
beer. Try it out on here, give them their own little shout out.
So we're gonna
basically supporting local business.
We're gonna do some beer reviews too. Is that what?
Yeah, there'll be a little segment in there with beer reviews.
Sounds good. Okay, well let's get into the main thing we're here to do. What is that? What are we talking about here? Talking about some football.
Football season's the only season going on except for WNBA, and I don't really want to talk about the WNBA because it's just Caitlin Clark. It's Caitlin Clark. That's it.
She's a goat.
But anyways, so was it Thursday, right? Thursday was a season opener. The Ravens at Arrowhead in Kansas City. And the very first thing I want to talk about, I want your opinion, is do you think home field advantage is an advantage? Do you think that's really an advantage?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously you have the crowd on your side. Like, take, for example, I was just at this Colts game this past weekend, and you have the whole crowd being told on the Jumbotron to be quiet when the offense is on there, and on the defense they're getting loud, like not even only on third downs. That's the main,
like make noise, like
you're getting loud because you want it to be as hard as possible for that offense to communicate to each other,
prevent the quarterback from having an easy job, audible.
Just throw him off. That's why they call him the 12th man.
Yeah. Okay. That's the first. I was just wondering because a stadium like Arrowhead, it's known for Chiefs Kingdom. And it's supposed to be one of the hardest places to play.
Well, I didn't wear my Colts shirt that I got from the game, but they call it the Loud House now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ravens versus Chiefs. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I watched it. I watched the whole thing.
Okay, so the brand new...
Kickoff?
No, not the kickoff. I do want to talk about that. The change and the formation penalty now.
I don't really know what's going on, but I saw they were hitting the Ravens with it pretty often.
It's now...
Hold up. What's the new rule?
It used to be where the offensive line could line up behind the center a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Now,
the
offensive line's helmet cannot cross the ass end of the center.
I think that makes sense, though, because the thing I think you're probably wanting to get into is it seemed like with the home field advantage question, it seemed like they weren't calling it as much for the Chiefs as they were for the Ravens. And I remember last year there was a big thing on social media about I can't remember what player it was, but he was constantly basically he was getting up off the line like before the quarterback even snapped the ball, it seemed like, to get into pass protection. But as a Chiefs lineman, and he was he's lined up offset, and he was, before that ball was even snapped, he was backing up, getting ready. Yeah. So I think they're trying to prevent that big of an advantage from happening, but it just didn't seem like they were calling it both ways. I think I saw Harbaugh even saying on the sideline,
he did
call it both ways if you're going to call it. So
that was around the third quarter when they caught him saying that to the ref because it was literally the first.
But it's
drive.
crazy because that's what I'm saying. The biggest team that they paid attention to doing that last year was the Chiefs.
Yeah, well,
it was that Chiefs lineman.
That lineman, I think, is number 97. I can't remember what his name is.
I can't find it here.
He was not only was he doing that, to me, he was jumping.
Jawan Taylor is his name.
Yes.
It happened. I just Googled this and AI pulls up everything now. It happens almost every time Jawan Taylor plays in a nationally televised game. He's accused of false start by fans. Yeah, he's a right tackle, and he jumps before the ball snapped, but the way that he lines up in that staggered, with the way he would line up before in that staggered position, he's already back, like, before anybody can even come close to the quarterback, so it kind of gives them an unfair advantage.
All right. Something else about this.
So yeah, let's just talk about the competitiveness of that game, though. I think it was a really good game.
It was a great game.
Two MVPs.
The Ravens wanted their revenge for the Chiefs putting them out of the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be a physical, demanding game. Now, I want to talk about Lamar Jackson a little bit. He's cut weight.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked quicker than what he has in the past.
What is
He was looking.
Right now?
He's looking
215, 220.
I don't even know if he's that much. But he was looking like Louisville, 205, 6'2", 205.
Okay.
He was looking like how he did back when he was in Louisville.
I didn't really watch him in Louisville, but
between him and the newly acquired Derrick Henry,
yeah,
the read option should be
working.
OP.
I don't think they really used Henry as much as they could have that game.
Well, Derrick Henry
either that or
he looked slow to me.
Yeah, he's big, man. Once you get hurt and you're that big, and after a while, that weight is gonna literally weigh you down when you're trying to run.
And he didn't look like he was holding back either. It didn't look like he was worried about.
Maybe it's the play calls, because I feel like on the Titans he used to run more to the outside a little bit. They run a lot of sweeps with him, or a stretch, like an HB stretch kind of play,
yeah,
where he would go more outside instead of in between the tackles.
Outside, you're talking about outside designed runs.
Yeah, he was very good at those. When he's running up and down the sidelines, I feel like that's when Derrick Henry is really dangerous.
Well, they talked about that. Because the only way you're running those really is if you're under center. Lamar Jackson plays out of shotgun. So they're going to have to find a way to mix it all together.
Someone made the same comparison with Anthony Richardson and Taylor, which we talk about later. But
yeah, no, they. I think that Lamar Jackson Derrick Henry duo is going to be insane.
Yeah, if they get it right, the lead op, it's the same thing as again Richardson and Taylor, which I think could be more deadly. But I just think he's not as fast. He's not as fast as he used to be, and maybe his ankles are.
Well, he had 13 carries for 46 yards. When's the last time he's done that bad? Good.
Yeah, he's usually at least 80 plus yards.
I mean,
but look how many carries Lamar had in his yards. He had 122 rushing yards.
Yeah, but he's scrambling. You get wideouts to take the corners and everybody down the field. It's a little bit easier.
But we also watched that game and we saw he made people miss.
Yeah.
So that's
another player I want to talk about, also in Baltimore. Isaiah Likely. Is he taking Mark Andrews' spot?
I was going to say Mark Andrews. Yeah, I think Mark Andrews this will be his last season on the Ravens.
Do you think?
I don't know when his contract ends, but if they can get Isaiah Likely 109 receptions, 111 yards, average 12 yards a catch.
He wasn't moving like a tight end. He was
out there like a receiver.
Yeah.
He did really good when Mark Andrews went out last year, but I think if they can, Mark Andrews is going to be expensive. If they can get Likely,
I think
he's
Mark
on a rookie contract still, right? He was a rookie last year, I think.
I
could be wrong. No, Likely.
Oh, Isaiah Likely, yeah. No, I think he was a rookie last year.
Yeah, I think he's a rookie last year. What's the rookie contract, 3 years?
3, is it 4? It might be 2.
So he was drafted 2022, so this is his second year. Or third year, right? If he was drafted 2022, then this would be his third year.
This is his third year, yes.
So, yeah. He's going to be much cheaper than Mark Andrews. So, just the way a business works, like, obviously, if it were me, I'd probably want, back in the old, as much as I can't stand him, the old Patriots days when they had Aaron Hernandez and Gronkowski, just two dominant tight ends. I think Likely's on his way up.
I just don't think Baltimore can afford to be in a two tight end formation.
No, but they could. I think they would benefit by being able to swap them both out.
But you got Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers.
You can't take away
Nelson Aguilar. I mean, you need your receiver. Those are all playmakers.
You can't take away how good of a blocker Mark Andrews is, too.
No, and that's something I think they would talk.
He's what, 28?
That needs to be talked about.
He's only like 29.
He's a great.
He might be 30.
He's a great old school style tight end.
Yeah,
and he still makes great catches. But last year, he was what? Lamar Jackson's number one go-to.
Yeah, and who else did they really have?
They still had Zay Flowers.
They had Flowers and they had
Nelson Aguilar.
They had Odell. I don't think he really did anything.
Odell's washed.
Yeah, I agree. I said this to a couple people. during the game, I said I think this is probably Mark Andrews' last year in a Ravens jersey, in my opinion, just because as a business, they're not going to overpay somebody who's not as productive as somebody who is, you could really take this into account by looking at how the Cowboys do the running backs.
Yeah, well, I also think that Justice Hill, they're going to use him as a passing back for sure, because he was, what, how many receptions did he have? 6 for 52 yards? Out of the backfield?
Not bad.
That's out of the backfield. That's not bad at all.
No, that's not bad. But averaged like 8.7 yards a catch is what it says. I don't know if that's yards after catch or.
No, that's total yards.
But another tight end on that. I think Travis Kelce is on the decline officially. To be honest, I think I've heard a lot of people are trading him in fantasy.
Well, that Noah Gray.
Yeah,
Noah Gray showed up. He played.
He looks pretty good.
He played really well.
Travis Kelce only had 3 catches. I feel like his targets were down by a lot.
Travis Kelce's always going to be Patrick Mahomes' check down guy.
He's going to be his security blanket. But if you look at Noah Gray, same amount of catches, but he had more yards in.
I think Noah Gray's got a lot of promise. But how about that Xavier Worthy?
Well, he's quick.
Fast.
Yeah, he's quick.
Fast. A lot of people are worried about his size, but
him and Pacheco are both pretty quick. Was that the other guy they had that was fast?
Rashee Rice.
Yeah,
Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice. Them two.
He just better hope he beats his street racing incident case. Otherwise, he'll be charged with like 5 or 3 felonies, and he'll be off the team.
It was a hit and run.
Yep, a lot of people got injured. And a lot of people are upset that he's still playing, but he hasn't.
That game,
He hasn't dealt with court yet, and more likely he won't be seeing court until December. So.
I think that's what they said.
So he's another guy that really showed out. Pacheco. I want to talk about Carson Steele, 3rd string running back for Kansas City.
Corn-fed white guy, right?
Out of Southport, Indiana.
Yeah.
Went to Ball State.
They said.
Yeah, he went to Ball State, and then he went and finished his last year out at California.
He didn't get too many opportunities, but it seemed like the fans went crazy every time he did get the ball.
Did you watch him in the preseason?
I didn't really watch preseason.
That guy is a hoss.
Is he?
Yes. And then the very first kickoff, I thought he was going to break it to the crib. But
yeah, he's a big guy.
But other than that, it was still fucking stereotypical Patrick Mahomes type play.
Yeah,
that's crazy. He was
20 for 28.
20 for 28.
Almost 300 yards, but 1 touchdown. That's the thing right there. That is the reason I have Patrick Mahomes on my fantasy team, and that's part of the reason why I just put him up for trade, because he's going to be consistent.
Who are you trying to get?
I think I might be trying to
We're in the same league.
I'm trying to see if I can get Richardson.
Who's got... Oh, Tyler Plummer's got...
Yeah.
Tyler's got AR. I don't know if we'll come up off of him.
Trade him he's got 3 quarterbacks. He might take a good first round pick and a quarter.
I'll talk more about Anthony Richardson later.
If anybody, Pat Mahomes is somebody you would trade for.
You're going to have everybody crying, saying that you're cheating again.
Yeah, but, I mean, to be fair, like, it might seem risky, but I think Richardson has more fantasy value than Mahomes, because it doesn't seem like there were so many opportunities that I saw in that game where Mahomes was in the red zone and either didn't complete a pass or he didn't even throw the ball.
And that's weird, because that's typically where he would
this is
look
where
for
he would go to Kelce, or this is where he would go to one of his guys on a quick slant or a good whip route or something like that. He didn't really... I don't know. I hope it was just game 1. I only got like 16 points from him. I was a little upset. Because
a little biased coming in.
I was a little upset there.
A little biased. You hurt your feelings. So now let's go on. You got anything else to say about that game, really?
No.
It was.
I picked the Chiefs to win.
So did I. They won, what, 27-20?
Yeah. It was a good game.
Real quick, before we get off, I want to talk about that very last play that Lamar threw to Isaiah Likely in the back of the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
He was out by a toenail.
Yeah. I don't see how you can try to say he was in. He wasn't.
He wasn't in. No,
it looked like it in real speed, real time, but yeah, he had.
At the end of the day, he was out.
Yeah, he was out.
But that last drive by Baltimore,
that was a good drive.
Really good.
It was promising, at least for him.
It looked really good.
Now this game here, I didn't even know it was on. I didn't know.
You didn't watch this game?
I did not watch this game.
Okay.
It was on a Friday, and I had a bunch of stuff going on. I didn't even realize that this game happened.
But I will real quick. Yeah, because I think
it looked like Saquon
it's the
popped
first
off.
time. I will talk about it here. Give me 1 second. So for that game, just recap. Chiefs-Ravens. Chiefs won 27-20.
Yeah.
Both teams look really good.
Yeah.
Very promising. Now we're going to go on to the Friday game, which was played in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Why
It was a Friday, and I think that's the first Friday game the NFL's ever had, which was weird.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know it was even on.
And
they didn't promote it very well, I don't think. But
the field. I'm gonna talk. You didn't get to watch.
was it on a soccer pitch?
It's a soccer field, and it's natural grass with turf fibers or something like that, and it was slippery.
Oh, okay.
Super slippery to a point to where the entire Eagles offense, after their first drive, switched their cleats out.
Oh wow! Would they switch to turf cleats?
I don't know what they switched. Probably studs, which no one wants to wear metal studs anymore
you're
because
stepped on.
that and it tear your knee up.
Yeah.
But it was a good game. I
I'm
liked
actually
it.
surprised that they just have a whole team's worth of cleats like that you can swap out.
Jerseys too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This game, for the most part, very defensive. Very good defensive game.
Okay.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, you'll have to tell me about it because
Jordan Love looked good. Obviously, Jalen Hurts looked good.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan Love had a decent game. I didn't even realize they got Malik Willis. So
No one else would have either if he didn't tear his ACL.
Oh, did he tear his
Last
ACL?
3 play of the games, he drops back to try to bring it. There it is right there. You can see it on the video. He's about to, you'll see his knee pop.
Ooh. So Malik Willis is their starter now. Huh?
Yes. I don't know if it's a torn ACL. Oh, right there. It says it right there. MCL sprain.
That might not be too bad.
But it was scary for them.
Yeah.
But Jordan Love looked good. Christian Watson, he's a beast.
So that makes sense why Romeo Dobbs just didn't do as good as I thought he would.
Yeah. Emmanuel Wilson comes in behind Josh Jacobs.
And Jaden Reed.
And was cleaning up.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs started out really slow, and then by the end of the game, he was actually producing. Jaden Reed, another freaking savage. Romeo Dobbs, Christian Watson, Luke Musgrave.
They got some good young players.
Yeah, they're a very young team.
I still think Romeo Dobbs, in my opinion, can be the best receiver on that team. Christian Watson's got that right now.
No, Christian Watson's going to...
I think Romeo Dobbs can take that role.
Christian Watson was looking great.
I agree.
There was times where there were passes dropped, there was bad throws. It happens. There was penalties that weren't called on interference too.
Here's my reason. If you look, and it's only a couple, but Romeo Dobbs was targeted 2 more times than Christian Watson. He had 1 more reception. He had more yards. None of them had Well, Christian Watson did have a short TD. Mm-hmm. That's red zone. Anybody's going to score there sometimes. You never know.
Well, I like Christian Watson.
I just think Romeo Dobbs is a very underrated route runner.
Okay.
So I think that's why he's getting those targets. I think he's quicker on his release.
Then, now let's flip the script, go over look at the Eagles.
Yeah.
They're still doing the tush-push to get first downs when it's 3rd and short.
But they didn't make it illegal, so I guess.
It is what it is. But Saquon Barkley's back. There's no questioning. He's back.
Yeah.
And someone was saying that it was the Giants' offensive line, not him.
No, Saquon was a dog in college. That's stupid. Pulled one off for 34 yards. Was that a touchdown? 34-yard touchdown run?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you got...
And A.J. Brown.
Here, another thing I want to talk about with Jalen Hurts. The Eagles got a brand new line. Their entire offensive line's new.
Yeah.
He's got a new center with Jason Kelsey gone.
Yeah.
And they were having issues.
Okay.
There was one time where Hurts wasn't even ready to snap the ball yet, and he was in shotgun, and he snapped it.
Oh, okay.
And they lost the ball on a fumble.
I think they can figure out as a team.
They were trying to do the tush-push.
Didn't work as much.
It's Hurts' fault. Everybody was talking about the center, but then they showed the angle. The center hit him square in the hands.
And he didn't catch it.
And he didn't get it. Okay. And he just dropped it, fumbled there. So I think once they get their offensive line on the same page, they'll be fine. But as far as
they got an overpowered receiving core.
Of course they do.
A.J. Brown's still a dog.
Jahan Dotson didn't even see a target.
Devontae Smith is a dog. Jahan Dotson's good too.
He did have one target. But that was his Eagles debut, and he wasn't able to get anything. But A.J. Brown, and when you got two receivers like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith at the top of your receiving core.
And Devontae Smith arguably might have a better game if he gets a touchdown. I don't know, though. I mean, 5 catches for 120 yards, that's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah. Well, you didn't get to watch that game. So
Dallas Goedert, I think their weakness in the receiving core is definitely their tight end.
Goddard?
Yeah, so like we go back to the other game. I think if the Eagles picked up somebody like Mark Andrews, that would be crazy. But I could see something like that happening after this season, to be honest.
If the Eagles can get... They had a lot of penalties on them.
Yeah.
If they can get that under control, I think it turns out
think they could go to the Super Bowl again?
I'm going to push it that far. I don't think the offensive line's ready.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
okay, so let's go to Sunday then.
Yeah, so that was Packers and Eagles. Eagles pulled through on that one, 34-29.
Okay. Well, obviously, I want to talk about the Colts game.
You want to go straight to the Colts?
We might as well go straight to that game.
I'm okay with that.
Because I was at that game. So.
Very upset. We haven't won a home. We haven't won a season opener at homes for
11 years.
11 years, yeah.
Yeah, 11 years.
I thought we were going to do it, and we didn't.
I'll say this. I liked what I saw from our team. There's some stuff we can work on. I mean, you saw my post on Facebook. I think Richardson looked really good. There was a couple overthrows that he had where A.D. Mitchell, I think he's going to be a dog. A.D. Mitchell is breaking free. He's getting wide open. It's only a matter of time before...
He's fast. Boy's fast.
His routes.
They're clean, yeah.
That was one of the biggest things that people liked about him in college, and I don't understand why he fell so far as he did. And it was really a steal, and we'll see. It's not going to...
Well, you know the story about him, right?
Yeah, he moved because of his daughter.
Yeah, he was at Georgia. Yeah, he won a state or a national title.
Yeah.
And then his daughter was born, and he was struggling not being able to see her.
Yeah, she
so
lived
he
in Texas.
went to the University of Texas, and he still produced there. But there was just people in their heads just for some reason we're like I don't know, they just brushed him off as like maybe someone who's going to flip flop a lot.
And he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and I like that because he was playing really hard. Watching him in person, the way he broke off of those defenders, like. Dude, I was watching the quarterback, and next thing I know, A.D. Mitchell's 10, 15 yards past his man, and he's wide open. If Richardson didn't overthrow one of those, it was literally in the end zone. And there was another one that he could have had that was a little closer, but they weren't really on the same page. He didn't. I don't know how many.
The one where Mitchell's in the end zone.
I don't think he got any catches, did he? Scroll down a little.
Mitchell...
He got 1 catch, but he was targeted 5 times. So he's getting looked at.
But what I do want to say about him, with that whole situation, I love AR. I don't want to get rid of him. Not giving up on him yet. I think he's got arm power for days. He can run. He's not a dumb quarterback. He's a smart quarterback. The issue he has, for some reason, is his accuracy. You don't miss Mitchell wide open in the end zone.
Every quarterback's overthrown a receiver.
I get it. It happens, but it's happened to AR too many times. They need to get that down. I love AR. I think
here's my argument with that, though. Look at the passes he threw to Pierce. Those were on the money, perfectly accurate, with 2 defenders.
What's the result of the game?
We lost because of a 2. If you want to really, if it boils down to it, we lost because of a 2-point conversion.
Which we should never went for.
Yeah, we shouldn't have.
But I like AR. I think he's going to be great.
I think he will too. And let's
but he's got to tie that in.
This. We also lost because our run defense was letting Mixon run all over us.
But
I'm not mad about. He's my fantasy running back, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. So.
I want to go back and talk about back to the receivers, Colts receivers.
Yeah.
Alec Pierce.
3 catches, 124 yards.
I've been, you can ask my dad. I've been preaching about let him get his. Because when he was at Cincinnati, he was a beast.
He's big. He's like, what, 6'5", 6... He's tall. He's 6'3", something like that.
And he's fast.
Yeah, he's fast. I've seen some people were calling him the white Reggie Wayne. I don't know if I'd go that far. The biggest problem with Pierce last year is Minshew didn't look at him. I was going
to touch on that.
It wasn't really Pierce. Like, if you go back and look at film, there was a lot of plays where
Shane Steichen, he's already cleared that because everybody's talking shit about Pierce and getting rid of him, trading him, whatever. Don't do it.
He obviously is the number 3 receiver and not A.D. Mitchell for a reason, and they were supposedly fighting for that 3rd spot in the preseason. So, but if you go back to that film, there's so many times
wait till we get Downs
Minshew missed him on a wide open touchdown downfield. I mean, there was only a couple. I mean, his big plays, he's like a Gabe Davis. He's a big play receiver.
Yeah, and Shane Steichen, he said it. He said those plays, Alec Pierce, where he was at in the receiving corps, he was underutilized. Very last person to be looking at, basically. Last out to get checked.
Minshew went to Pittman a lot.
Yes, which we didn't see very much of Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman didn't really. He didn't do bad.
8
he had
targets,
some clutch plays.
4 catches for 31 yards. But Alec Pierce making the big ones.
Yeah.
Ashton Doolin coming back, getting one catch, 1 target.
Which I don't see him being the number 2.
Ashton Doolin is not going to be.
No, he just was in because Downs was out. But I liked Ashton Doolin last year, and I think he would have, if he wouldn't have gotten hurt, he would have been a pretty good value to our team. But Josh Downs is just another dog, so.
Once we get Downs back, it'll be crazy.
Also, we got another tight end that's injured again, Jelani Woods.
Yes.
He's a beast, and I would love to see him actually be healthy and play a season because he's massive. Mo Alley Cox, would have liked to seen him get involved a little more. Our tight ends didn't really.
Kylan Granson?
I don't think any of our tight ends had catches.
Did they? No catches.
2
targets per one
target
one
each.
for Mo Alley, 1 for Kylan Granson.
We need to get them involved a little more. I'm going to tell you this, and I've said this for 3 years now. For the past 3 years that we've been doing this, I hate the wide receiver screenplay. It almost never works for us. I don't know why we always do this wide receiver screenplay. At best, we've gotten 2 or 3 yards. Usually, we lose yards on those plays. It just doesn't work with our team. If anything, do a crossing route. Maybe have your slot guy or somebody cut across the field. That works better in my opinion than trying to do some weird wide receiver screen. The bubble screen, it doesn't work for us. We need to trash that play.
Yeah, I agree.
It just doesn't work. It hasn't worked.
I agree. Stephon Diggs, Houston Texans debut.
He did okay. I don't think he did that. His 2 touchdowns were really what saved him. Because six catches for 33 yards, I thought we played it.
And your name is Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And you get 33 yards
and
out of 6 catches.
Those were short. Those were small, like yardage.
That's what they were using him for. That's the only thing. That's what I was saying. He, along with, like you mentioned, Houston's run game really dominated.
Yeah. And Nico Collins, we can't for some reason
ever guard him.
We shut him down the first half, and then the second half he makes these huge plays.
Yeah.
And this is only his second year. I wouldn't say
Nico's a dog.
Ever guard him. He just beat us last year pretty bad. It's kind of like the
pretty bad.
What's the guy's name? Arian Foster. Mm-hmm. He had his come out game against us, and he ended up being a really good running back for the Texans. It's it is what it is.
But no, I think Stephon Diggs, they're gonna have to find a way to get him.
Tank Dell
beyond the short passes.
Yeah.
Tank Dell looked good. 3 catches. But if you look at it, though, Tank Dell was targeted 7 times, only caught 3. So our defense is doing good. Some of those other plays, that was straight up C.J. Stroud extending the play. C.J. Stroud on 4th down going to the ground and manages to get it out.
Yeah.
Still, that's.
I think our defense. I want to give our linemen credit, our defensive linemen, because I think we have one of the best defensive lines in.
And we're missing one of our main ones.
Who?
Abukum. I forgot to say his name, but it's like something about Abukum. He got hurt in the training camp.
Okonekwe?
No, it's Abakum. Yeah, bro.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of how you say his name, but I'm definitely saying it wrong, so sorry. But he's got a weird name. He's a beast.
I think we were putting pressure on him, though.
Grover Stewart, beast.
DeForest Buckner, 3 or 4
beast.
sacks that game.
Let's see. Nick Cross had a hell of a game.
Nick Cross had a good game. Jalen Jones, though, man, he needs to get it together. Yeah. Jalen Jones, there was a couple plays when I was at the game, I was watching him, and he got caught ball watching on that play that you're referring to. C.J. Stroud's getting pushed out of the pocket. He scrambles to the right, and as he's like about to be getting sacked, he throws a little duck pass, I think, to
I think it was Diggs.
Tankdale
No,
or
I think it was
Diggs,
Diggs.
one of them smaller guys, and gets a first down, and it was 3rd and 14 or something on that play. Like, there was a lot of third downs
We had 4 sacks.
Yeah, we had 4 sacks, so we were getting to them.
Tyquan Lewis, DeForest Buckner,
I don't
Kwity Paye. Our defensive front is
Juju Brents, I think, had a really good game. Juju Brents had a pretty good game. Again, I just think Jalen Jones needs to get it together, and I think
Julian Blackmon had a great game.
Yeah, I think Blackmon had a good game. I saw him him and Diggs were getting into it, or not Diggs. It was
Nico Collins or Tank Dell.
It was it was Mixon. Him and Mixon.
Joe.
Yeah, Him and Joe Mixon were getting into it. They were jawing at each other. There's a couple plays. So he plays competitive. I like the way he plays. But Jalen Jones, he missed a lot. He let a lot of big plays happen on him that game. He needs to get that together. I don't know if he got caught ball watching on a couple plays or what, but when they extend the play like C.J. Stroud can with his legs a little bit, you need to be able to not just watch the quarterback, but also like kind of keep an eye on your man too, because that's one of the reasons Pat Mahomes is so good.
Yeah,
he knows how to find an open guy when he's scrambling.
Oh yeah. Well,
I still think I'm gonna pick Richardson over Stroud. I think Richardson's a better quarterback than Stroud, in my opinion. Stroud I think his receiving core is slightly better this year.
Well, unfortunately, we're starting out 0-1 in our conference, and we lost to Texans. Texans beat the Colts 29-27. Unfortunately,
yeah,
that's a heartbreaker.
We could talk about before we leave.
What?
Anthony Richardson didn't get hurt.
He didn't get hurt.
He had how many rushing yards? He had some good rushing yards, like a clutch rushing touchdown, 2 touchdowns.
56 yards. He carried it 6 times for 56 yards.
And then he had 2 touchdowns. Should have had 4. Definitely could have had 4.
That first touchdown he got. When he ran it off. No,
the first touchdown was to Pierce.
You're right.
In the end zone.
That was a beautiful pass.
End zone, yeah, over 2 people, right?
Bro, that arm strength is ridiculous. If he could just be accurate on the shorter plays.
And I'll tell you, when he ran the rushing touchdown,
he off to the side. Yes,
that was in my end zone. I saw that like literally right up close. He fought for that touchdown.
No, that's what I said. I thought he was going to give up on it, and he kept going. I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
And he got it, and dude, he launched that football all the way up, damn near to the nosebleeds.
That man's strong, yeah.
Also, I think our kicker did pretty well. He did okay. You know, we didn't need him for any field goals, unfortunately.
That boy is a beast.
He was kicking it pretty.
Did you watch him in the preseason?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch too many preseason.
Matt Gay might be out of a job.
Well, we just paid him a fuck ton of money, so.
Well, we need to get that back.
I think he became the highest paid kicker in NFL history.
Why do we do that? We get the highest paid offensive line, and then our offensive line starts fucking up. That was last year. And then we get highest paid kicker, and now he's injured.
Yeah.
What the hell? Anyways, I'm excited to watch him against Green Bay.
Any other standout games you want to talk about? Buffalo, that's a good comeback. We could talk about that.
Yeah, I do want to go to that game because Arizona has a football team.
I wish I would have got to watch more of this game. I was kind of watching the red zone, so I was catching highlights when all these games were on, and also I was at the Colts game. I couldn't really watch a whole lot of 1 o'clock games. I'm interested to see how Marvin Harrison Jr. did.
1 reception,
1 catch
for 4 yards.
That's
3 targets. There's pictures of him where they could have had a game-winning touchdown.
Wide open.
Wow. And he's even waving. He burnt everybody, but they didn't give him the ball.
I'm surprised that Greg Dortch was their leading receiver. Because he's like available on like every fantasy team, right?
Well, James Conner had a great game too.
Yeah, he did. Scroll down a bit. I want to see. So James Conner, he did really pretty good. Michael Wilson was their only receiving touchdown. Their defense must have been pretty good. Did they have any defensive touchdowns?
They had to have.
Yeah, because I see 2 offensive touchdowns.
Nope, only one. One. Yep.
The special teams. They did.
Oh, they ran the punt back. Yeah. Yep.
That was a pretty cool play. DJ Dallas.
Yes.
He had a touchdown on that. Kyler Murray's always been pretty good.
I'll tell you what. At the beginning of that game, I was ready to text your cousin and my nephew, talking shit about Bills losing to the Cardinals. And then Josh Allen became Josh Allen and decided he was going to pop off in the second half.
The thing that pissed me off about that game, and it's just me being a little biased, but he didn't throw the ball to Dalton Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid ended up with 2 points. I think he had 1 or 2 receptions, maybe 1. 1 reception for 11 yards.
2 targets.
And 2 targets. For somebody who's that good of a tight end, I understand you came back and got the win. And you did it the way you needed to.
It's exactly what I'm thinking. You see right here?
Mac Hollins.
You see him right here? You see him right here?
Keon Coleman. Yeah, what about him?
They're hype about him. That's the issue. Okay. He's going to be getting looked at
He
first.
only had 5 targets, though. Yeah. I feel like Allen spread the ball around pretty good. Like, I feel like they were overhyped about Curtis Samuel. And to me, it looks like they have some overrated, some older wide receivers here.
Look how many receivers.
Like Valdez-Scantling and Curtis Samuel, they're definitely on the later end of their career. Curtis Samuel wasn't even really that great the last year he was in Washington. Valdez-Scantling, he's always been decent.
Well, Josh Allen hit 10 different receivers, so he was definitely spreading the ball.
Yeah, he had to spread that ball around. But
Mac Hollins, he's a sleeper. You said that name earlier. I wanted to bring it back up. Last year, he played for Atlanta.
Did he? Okay.
And he's a character. He's a character. He's a Tarzan. Okay. He practices without shoes on.
Wild.
And during the training camp, he doesn't wear shoes.
Well, his routes better be crispy.
That boy, he's a big ass white boy. He's solid.
Khalil Shakir.
You know he's gonna get targets.
He's gonna be pretty good, I think. But he got their touchdown. Mac Hollins got their touchdown.
Josh Allen's got to find a way to get Dalton Kincaid more touches.
He must have rushed the ball too. Did he have 2 rushing touchdowns? Yeah, he sure did.
Man, that's it. You can take that bet every week, and he's probably going to get that.
He'll probably get
2 rushing touchdowns.
James Cook, I think he could have. He did okay, but 20 carries for 70 yards. He could have had a better game. It's hard though. It's hard to get. That was one thing we didn't even touch on in that Colts game. I knew we were forgetting something. Freaking Jonathan Taylor, man.
Oh,
we couldn't backpedal a little bit. We need to get him involved more. I will say, I really like, and this is a couple critiques real quick, then we'll move back on to this Buffalo game. I think the option is going to be a really good play
just
for
like
the Colts.
Lamar and Derrick Henry.
But better.
Yeah, because,
But I do think that JT, he has to get used to running out of the shotgun too. I think Richardson needs to keep the ball actually more. I think he needs to run more. There was too many times.
There was, touching on what you're talking about.
Where he could have pulled away and he was wide open on that other side and they got stuffed.
I was going to say that.
So he needs to use his IQ a little bit more and kind of, I don't want him to get hurt, obviously. If you're going to have that decision as a quarterback and have a lead option play, a read option.
Lead option.
He needs to run it more. And I like when they started getting more involved in the later end of the game. And even when he's back in the pocket and he doesn't see anybody, there was a couple sacks he took that I felt like he didn't need to take, that he could have used his legs.
Well, I will say that I do agree with you as far as him keeping the ball more, because I think it was the very first drive.
It was a bad first drive.
It was an option.
Yeah.
It was a read option. He hands it to Taylor. Play gets shut down, but he hands it to JT. And as he's handing it to JT, right to his right, where his read would be, where he'd be running to if he kept it, fucking wide open.
Yeah. There was one, that's why I'm saying it got better, because there was one that I saw, and I was at the game live, and I didn't even see him keep the ball. I literally thought Jonathan Taylor had the ball. And it was that big play he ran, and then he slid.
Yeah.
Taking injury. But I literally thought Jonathan Taylor had the ball, and then the camera guy thought he did too. He followed Jonathan Taylor, and then next thing you know, he's over here running to the left, and he has a big gain.
I'm pretty sure those camera guys, one's supposed to be set to follow him, and one who probably is set to follow.
I think in just a final, I put a nail in the coffin on that game. I think they got a couple little things they need to tweak in. I think the Colts. I think they're going to win that next game against Green Bay for sure. Especially with
we're not as bad as everyone thinks.
No. I think we're better than Tennessee, and I think we'll be better than Jacksonville. We just need to be able to beat them.
And I think we can beat Houston.
Yeah, I think we can beat Houston. We've split with Houston the past however many years.
And it might come off as bias. You can say what you want. I just honestly think I don't think we're the worst team.
You guys didn't get to see this because it wasn't televised. But guess who they had banging the anvil?
Who?
Take a guess.
Will Ferrell.
No. We're talking about the Texans and the Colts here. They had none other
Dwight Freeney?
No, he was there, though. Him and Mathis were there. And Mathis got his Hall of Fame bust in his ring, which was cool. But no, T.Y. Hilton.
Really?
Who owns the Texans every time he played them.
Yeah.
He was the one banging the anvil. and he put the clown mask on, and then he does the TY dance. It was hype. It was pretty cool. I just wish we would have pulled off the W. It would have been super sick to see us get in field goal range on that last drive and win a game winner.
That's enough of the Colts for now.
We'll go back to the Buffalo game.
I mean, basically
how did you think their defense
at halftime? At halftime, it's 17-10.
I think their defense is going to get them in trouble this year if they're giving up. Buffalo.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I was.
They were solid for a while.
First quarter, Buffalo can't score. Arizona scores. Second quarter, they both score, both get a field goal, but they're up 17-10 going into halftime.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not.
It's the Cardinals. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Fucking the Cardinals haven't had a team for the past couple years.
Yeah.
I really ain't got no more to say about that game.
Yeah.
Buffalo ended up pulling that off 34-28.
Just for the sake of time, I don't think there's really any other game.
There's one other game I want to talk about.
Super interesting. I think the Miami game might be worth talking about.
This is what I want to talk about.
In the Denver-Seattle game. Oh, yeah.
Carolina versus New Orleans. Saints put belt to ass.
I'll just say this in one statement. I think Bryce Young is a bust.
Oh, yeah. We knew that.
And I also want to say I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Say what you want. Maybe because I'm a Colts fan. I still think it's ridiculous they fired Frank Reich. Year one. That
was dumb.
Didn't let him finish a year. Knowing they're rebuilding the team, new quarterback, trash receivers, to be honest. I mean, Miles Sanders is a good running back. Chuba Hubbard's all right. Adam Thielen, he's on the tail end of his career. Jonathan Mingo. Deontay Johnson might be their... I just don't really see anybody there that stands out.
Deontay Johnson, he
was good in Pittsburgh a little bit, but still was... I don't know, man. He's not a star. No, he's not. That's what I'm saying. They don't have people wanted to say the Colts and fucking Michael Pittman, and he wasn't a wide receiver one. They definitely don't have a wide receiver one.
100%, I agree.
They don't have a wide receiver one.
But New Orleans, I want to talk about Derek Carr for a second.
2 picks.
Because everyone wants to love to dog on Derek Carr, saying he's nothing but a crybaby. He's always crying about calls, yada, yada, yada. He looked good.
Yeah.
19 for 23.
I've never been super big on Derek Carr, but he got the job done. He had 3 touchdown passes.
200 passing yards, 13 rushing yards.
Yeah, he did. They have a good system.
3 TDs in the air. He was putting belt to ass.
Jamal Williams, Alvin Kamara. I think that's a good backfield.
Great backfield.
I have Jamal Williams on my...
Alvin Kamara, 15 carries for 83 yards.
Yeah,
that's a good game.
That's pretty good.
Well, look how many people are carrying the ball.
Taysom Hill. They're going to use him however.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of...
that boy right there is dangerous. So, Rashid Shaheed is basically throw the ball up in the air and he will catch it.
It's like Tyreek Hill all over. Mm-hmm. He's fast.
In 3 receptions, 73 yards, tutty.
And then they got... your old boy from Purdue over there, Jawan Johnson.
That's Jawan Johnson for Purdue. That's basketball, bud.
I know. It's a joke, bud.
Yeah, no, he's not bad. No, Chris Olave only getting 2 targets. That's insane. Why is he not being used?
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, they won, but by a lot. But
they definitely won by a lot.
Chris Olave is the other one that he's great.
Yeah, there's not much really else. I mean, Carolina, they're probably going to get the first round pick again this year. I don't see another team that did work. To be honest, I don't feel like there was another tean because I don't think the Saints...
Even Denver looked good.
I don't think the Saints are that strong of a team.
Even Denver looked good. To
be honest. They're an
average team.
Yeah, Derek Carr is a hit or miss quarterback in my opinion. He's good some weeks and he's really bad some weeks. I mean, Kamara has been their saving grace the past few years. And they have some decent receivers. It's kind of weird to see them without Michael Thomas. But yeah,
he subbed his toe a couple years ago and hasn't played since.
Yeah, well, no, he's on another team, I think. You're right. He's a free agent. You're right.
He is a player. He stubbed his toe and was done. But basically, Saints put belt to ass, 47-10. The last thing I want to talk about for NFL wise, anyways, is Denver.
Bo Nix needs to work on them interceptions.
Young quarterback, rookie. He's allowed to have a mistake first
But
game.
he had a rushing touchdown.
Denver, when was the last time Denver even came close to winning a game?
I mean, they won a game. They definitely won some games.
Russell Wilson is...
Yeah, Russell Wilson, he's done. I mean, I think he's out for the season, right?
I don't know if he's out for the season, but I know
the Steelers-
after he injured his thumb when he was with the Seahawks, he just fell off.
He had some receivers that saved him a little bit there. DJ Metcalf and Lockett. He had some really good receivers there, but because he was known for throwing that sky ball and someone just going up and catching it. Someone I want to talk about in that game though, and you guys might not be big on it. One, Kenneth Walker just owned. So I'm gonna. He destroyed him. I think Charbonnet is gonna.
Everybody was talking about Charbonnet last year.
I think he's gonna do. He didn't do much last year. He was kind of on the. But I think so. Him and Kenneth Walker are for sure listed to split carries almost 50-50. It seemed like this game, obviously, that Walker got most of the work. Go back up real quick. I just want to see their carries. So, yeah, he got way more carries. There, but that's probably because he had the hot hand. So, Walker's going to be their guy, obviously. But Charbonnet came out with a receiving touchdown. He, had two catches for 30 yards almost. That's pretty good. I think he needs to get more carries, more touches, but obviously they're going to feed the hot hand. It's going to be like the Dolphins last year with their running back situation. Mm-hmm. But what do you think of Geno Smith? I mean, I think he did solid.
I've always liked Geno Smith.
I think he's solid.
I like him. I hate the Seahawks, but I like Geno.
I don't hate the Seahawks, but
I do.
Now let's talk about the Denver receivers.
Two, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims Jr.
No, I got this guy because I want to throw some more fantasy in this.
Yeah, no, I was going to touch on
I have
fantasy.
Devon Vele. I picked him up.
Okay,
he's a rookie. He led the team in receptions. He wasn't targeted as much, but he didn't drop a ball. Only thing he needed really the only thing stopping him from having a good game, which you can look and see,
is a touchdown.
And none of their receivers had a touchdown.
Yeah.
Another thing, there was a big thing in our fantasy league. Some people were really upset that I traded Jalen Waddle for a guy on the Broncos, but he was out this game.
You didn't trade just Jalen Waddle. It was Jalen Waddle and Brock Bowers.
I traded Brock Bowers
and a draft pick.
That's why the draft pick back.
That's why they thought it was sketchy.
The draft pick was probably a little too much, but I got a couple good receivers in my opinion. The tight end didn't really matter to me.
I don't know, Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers is cool. I think he'll be all right, but I think he'll be pretty good. But I think he might be a little overhyped right now. We'll see. Well,
other than that, Javonte Williams, Marvin Mims Jr. had one target.
So Devon Vele, I'm hoping that's what I'm saying, dude.
How's that happen? One target?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he was really that guy last year. He had a couple good games.
Marvin Mims is a dog.
But I think that Devon Vele impressed them a lot in preseason from what I was reading. Mm-hmm. And it looks like it showed up. I mean, he had some good catches. Josh Reynolds is older. I don't think he's going to be that crazy, but they gotta get some touchdowns on the.
Yeah, well, Seahawks end up pulling that one off. A couple things that I do want to talk about.
This is going to be your area.
It's going to be that college football.
Yeah.
Really going to base it off of week one. I got to watch more games. Big Ten Conference is really all I'm worried about.
Yeah.
You got Rutgers, right?
Yeah.
And that's the team I want to talk about because I think they are slept on, and I think it's a team that you're going to have to watch out for. Their running game is insane with Kyle Mononegay and Samuel Brown.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I want to give them their credit because they definitely need to be watched. If you get the chance to watch them, Oregon coming into the Big Ten this year.
Yeah,
kind of scary.
They got rid of the Pac-12.
Yeah,
that'll be a competitive division.
Their quarterback, I can't say his name. It's like Kalakamanis. He's a dog. He's very, very accurate.
Kalakamanis. I don't know how to say that. It looks wild.
He makes smart plays, but this guy right here, Kyle Mononegay.
Yeah, right.
40. This is just this season already.
46. Right.
We're into week 3 or week 4. 46 carries, 373 yards.
4 touchdowns. 62-yard touchdown.
Then this guy right here, Sam Brown.
So they might be a team to watch this year. Is what
100%.
Yeah.
And then this guy, for a true freshman, he 23 carries, 126 yards.
So how do you feel about them against your Boilermakers?
Purdue will be fine.
Oh yeah,
That's a team that you just gotta be worried about.
they'll be fine. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I want to go back and touch on that.
What do you like? What do you like about Purdue this year?
Basketball.
No, we're talking about football. It's
Yeah,
football season, bud.
It's Purdue in football. They're hit or miss. USC, UCLA in the conference now.
Ohio State's still probably
Fuck Ohio State.
As much as I don't really like Ohio
It's not
State,
the Ohio State. Oh, you fucking nut riders.
said like a true Purdue fan.
Yeah. QB Hudson Card,
Don't know anything about him.
25 attempts, 24 completions. That's pretty solid. 273 yards.
Picture of him though. This guy looks about 35. Pull that picture up.
I don't.
This guy looks old, but you can't lie. This guy don't look like he should be in college.
But we are playing.
What is he,
We get to play Notre Dame on the 14th.
Senior? Yeah, super senior.
So Purdue's season starts out real easy, right? You got ISU, another nobody, and then now you got to play Notre Dame.
Hudson Card. Do they got this guy's age on here? I'm just curious, man. I'm not trying to roast your team, but this
Birthplace,
guy's
all it says is Austin, Texas.
this guy's got to
I don't
be
know how
a
old he
super
is.
senior. I'm about to look.
He's a senior.
Super. He's a 5th year senior.
He looked like the coach. But this guy right here, our running back,
The coach is crazy.
Devin Maccabee.
He's 23 years old.
Devin Maccabee is a beast.
He looks about 30.
Give him a chance to break out. Elijah Jackson, he's a beast.
See, I feel like Purdue, they're kind of similar to Notre Dame in this aspect. I would, if there's ever been a team that I really followed, it's mainly because my dad. I didn't really follow him, but that was the team my dad watched is Notre Dame. They can't seem to get a solid quarterback, I think, and that's a very important position, obviously, to every football team.
Well,
I don't think they've ever had any. I mean, since Drew Brees, they really haven't had a standout quarterback for Purdue.
Well, I want to just touch on Purdue real quick. Beating the shit out of ISU 49-0.
Are you surprised?
No, but I'm gonna brag about it
Are you surprised?
because now we go into our week 2. It's our second
Against
game
Notre Dame?
against fucking Notre Dame.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
Right now, Notre Dame is ranked 18th in the fucking
Did
nation.
they lose game 1? I think Notre Dame lost.
Notre Dame got shit on by
But they...
Northern Illinois University.
Yeah, and it's their quarterback.
Nebraska. That's another one we gotta watch out for with Dylan Raiola, the Patrick Mahomes clone. Have you seen him?
That guy with the
Yeah.
curly haired fuck. Yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah.
He does look like
He's good though.
He looks like he wants to be Mahomes though.
Well,
you could tell that's
he
his-
wears 15 because of Tebow.
You could tell it's his favorite player.
He said his favorite player is Tim Tebow.
I think he's capping.
You think he's only?
I think he's.
He
I think,
doesn't want to be known as a
I
nut
think he's
rider?
capping because everybody sees the obvious
Well, he's got
comparison to Mahomes, so he wants to try to deflect because he don't play like Tebow.
He
He's not-
plays just like Mahomes.
and he celebrates like Mahomes. He looks like he's Mahomes' build. He just looks like he popped out of Mahomes' asshole.
But then you still got Penn State. How about who just got Michigan State? Did they lose or they was a close game to nobody?
FAU?
Yeah, FAU, Florida Atlantic University.
10. That was
Florida Atlantic University. Their quarterback's the only player they got. Fancher.
that was a shit game.
Yeah,
Usually college.
they got called for a lot of targeting on that game. They was smacking the fuck out of Fancher every time he slid.
I wonder how IU's doing this year. Are they played? And I know you're a Purdue fan. I try to root for every Indiana team. That's just
Not me.
But I mean,
Ooh, coaches.
anything about IU? Like anything about their quarterback? What do we know about their team this year?
I don't really know much about IU. Let's see how they're looking though.
Yeah, they're 2-0.
2-0.
I mean, they won.
They beat
31-7.
FIU in Western Illinois though. So
77-3.
Western Illinois is not
Still though.
It's
That's
not.
the.
Are you surprised?
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know anything about Western Illinois, but you just showed me a team that the other team barely beat 16-10
You know someone who played basketball for them.
for Western Illinois.
Mm-hmm. They're going to say names or anything like that. Right? You know someone who played basketball for them.
Oh, Anthony.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is, brother.
This guy, he looks like he's had a decent season so far. 30
448 yards.
448 yards, 73% completion rate. Averages
3 TDs.
He seems pretty decent.
And they only had 2 games.
Yeah, he seems decent. I kind of want to check on these. I want to check on these Indiana teams a little
Well,
bit.
that'll be your job. You watching them. I'm going to watch Purdue. And some other Big Ten stuff. Like Rutgers.
See their running backs. Okay, he's got 2 touchdowns, 19 carries for 185 yards. Not bad. They seem decent. They might have a decent year.
But what's his total carries is 19?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not bad. Well, he's obviously not on old boy's level for
Kyle Monaghan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast.
And then Omar Cooper.
Yeah, I want to see the receivers. You know, it doesn't look like
around.
he doesn't have a favorite receiver.
Spread the ball around. Seems like an interesting team to watch at least.
Fuck, they don't look bad.
No, they really don't.
But they haven't played nobody yet.
Yeah, well, it might be a tough game for your Boilermakers. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's way down. I ain't worry about them. They played two no-name. They played shitty-ass teams, right?
I mean, they made them look like shitty-ass teams.
Yeah, you can pack stats in shitty-ass
They made them look like shitty-ass teams.
They got an easy-ass schedule. UCLA might be tough for them.
Northwestern isn't going to be easy.
Northwestern.
Nebraska.
Maryland won't be easy.
Michigan State, Michigan.
Nebraska won't be easy.
No, their last 5 games.
Okay, yeah. Their last couple games are
6 games, 7 games are tough.
they'll be put through the ringer. I want to check something real quick.
Maryland, are they decent? No.
I don't remember if they kept their quarterback.
50-7, they beat UConn.
I don't remember if they kept their quarterback.
UConn's a basketball school, like.
To his little brother?
Billy Edwards, I heard about him.
Nope, they don't got us.
Billy Edwards, 564 yards.
46 completions, dude. 61 attempts. That boy is slinging the rock.
He's throwing it. What about that upset? Texas. Didn't they just beat Michigan? Was that Michigan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Texas shit on Michigan. I'm going to call it a fucking upset.
I think so. I don't think Texas has really been that relevant in the past few years.
Oh, stop it.
In college, at least.
No, Texas is always going to be Texas.
So, who's their, is it Eward?
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, Ewers.
Quarterback. I'll pull him up for you so you can see how they're doing.
It'll be Arch Manning.
Arch Manning was right behind him.
So I'll probably watch him when Arch Manning plays, but
yeah,
check him out a little more. I think that was an upset though. That was for sure.
Nah, they got a receiver, Bond. He's a beast.
That was definitely an upset.
It was not an upset.
I bet it was if you look at the Vegas on that.
31-12.
Yeah. 52-0. They beat Colorado State.
No, it's Colorado State, which I want to touch on Colorado.
Is it Colorado State or Colorado?
Regular Colorado. Yeah. With Shedeur and them.
Yeah, Shedeur.
Shedeur is not an NFL caliber quarterback. He's good in college.
Maybe wishy-washy.
But Travis Hunter.
He's a real deal.
But they're not. Their team isn't.
And why does this dude really look kind of like Travis Scott in a way? He really does.
He does. But I do want to see something real quick with Texas. I want to see how Quinn Ewers has been doing. 44
6 touchdowns. Like, he's got to be leading the touchdowns. And Arch Manning threw a touchdown. That's how he's already thrown a touchdown. That's wild.
Right here, Isaiah Bond, this guy.
Okay.
He's going to be...
He doesn't have any touchdowns.
He doesn't, but he's going to be a problem.
Gibson and...
Jadon Blue.
Wisener. Colin Page.
Oh, this is rushing. I need to look at receiving for
receiving.
Isaiah.
Yeah.
8.
Matthew Golden.
Yeah. 1 TD, 8 catches, 112 yards.
Might be a decent team this year.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
No.
But other than that, that's all I got for...
So let's get into the fantasy.
Yeah, let's fantasy. Anything that you want to talk about specifically, players or...
So...
speaking of fantasy, someone just tried to do a trade on our league.
So we're in a dynasty league here. So there was a big controversy.
I lost.
I traded Jalen Waddle. I think he's he ended up coming back, but I think he's just too inconsistent, man. Say what you want.
Timeout.
What?
You got to talk about this trade that just happened.
That you got offered?
No, it's between Adam and Brennan.
Okay.
Fucking...
He's trading Waddle and...
No, Brennan's trading Rashee Rice.
Okay.
Austin Eckler and a first-round draft pick for next year for fucking Christian McCaffrey. Rashee Rice is worth that alone. He's going to be a dog.
That might be... Well, Eckler... So he got... It's fair.
I approved it.
I'll say it's fair. Brennan probably shouldn't have traded a first for him. Eckler's not a starting... He's like a flex play, in my opinion. I don't think Eckler's... Brian Robinson's the number one, right, for that team. Rashee Rice, he's going to get some good value out of that. I think that's a fair trade outside of the draft pick. I think it would have been better for like a second or a third. But I don't think that's... I don't think that's crazy, I still think, Jalen Waddle, a lot of people are big on him this year. I had him the past 2 seasons, and he was good one season. The first year Tyreek came. And then last year, people want to say he was injured. He didn't play. He played most games last year. and he was very underwhelming on my team. And I made a trade for him for, I think, a promising rookie. He hasn't played yet, but, I mean, it is what it is. I traded him for Troy Franklin. I think he's got good chemistry with Bo Nix. I think that'll pan out for him in the future. I think somebody worth trading would be Kelsey. I think Pat Mahomes would be worth trading if you can get good value. And obviously, Mark Andrews. Might be time to get rid of Mark Andrews if you can get some good value for him.
I think I agree with all that. I think it's too early.
Yeah, it's still early.
Too early to be like, oh, I'm done with somebody.
But see, I another big trade I made this year already. I traded before the season started. I traded Derrick Henry for Ramondre Stevenson and Romeo Odunze.
Ramondre Stevenson had a good game.
Ramondre Stevenson, I was skeptical at first because I had him in another league and he kind of dealt with some, I want to say it was knee or something issue. Something with his leg. He had some injuries, but he was solid. He was kind of a workhorse last year. I was kind of worried about that. But I think he ended up coming out and having a solid game. He blew up. And then Mixon, I obviously had Mixon. He blew up. I think Odunze is going to have, from preseason that I saw with him and Caleb Williams, they had some really good chemistry when they played in the preseason. He didn't get really any opportunities the last game. I think he's going to be a pretty good player to watch by the time the season's over. That was my thing. I kind of traded some older players for some promising rookies. That was my stance on the Dynasty League this year.
And that's fair.
And I got some picks out of it too.
I'm going to wait for me to speak on fantasy at least until one more week before I have anything that's going to be even insightful. But I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
But I just think right now it's too early to be like, oh, I got to get rid of this guy.
Well,
I do want to talk about this. This is something I kind of want to do for the show. So we got all the games pulled up for next week.
Yeah.
We're going to ignore the Thursday game. And we're going to look at all the Sunday games. I'm going to have you pick 5 games.
Holy shit, Brock Purdy is not doing well for you.
I know, I don't want to talk about it. That's why I'm talking about this, all right?
You're blown out right now.
But I want you to pick out 5 out of these Sunday night games or Sunday games. I want you to pick 5 teams you think got it in the bag.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna pick 5 that if you were gonna place a bet, not a risky bet, but something that you want, even if it was risky, but
is Aaron Rodgers playing? Number 1.
Yes.
So he's playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How's he doing? Is he doing pretty good? We haven't been watching this game. We need to have this game up. I don't know why we haven't had this game playing in like another tab or something. On Stream East or something.
Stream East is shut down.
Nope, there's a new one.
13-26 can't be too good. Aaron Rodgers 11 for 17, not bad. 144 yards, 1 interception, 1 TD.
Still, it's not horrible. It's
Brees Hall 12 carries, 32 yards.
It doesn't look like their running game has been very good.
He's looking at 4 receivers.
So I'm gonna go back to the teams. So you can go back to that question for next week, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna go and say Dallas.
Dallas is beating the Saints.
Beat New Orleans.
You think so? All right.
Which, let's talk about real quick. Freaking Dak Prescott. I thought they were going to move on from him, and now he's the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
And they got Zeke back.
They just signed him for an extension. So I'm going to go Dallas.
Dallas, gotcha.
I'm going to go Tampa.
So you're just going to do the first 5 games?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go Tampa. I think Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield have really good chemistry.
You think Tampa's beating Detroit?
Yeah.
I think you're high.
No, I think they're beating Detroit.
In Detroit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they are.
Let's see. What's it say? Detroit is the favorite to win by 7.
Yeah.
So, all right. That's fine.
Not that close.
You're allowed to pick whatever.
I think Indy is going to beat Green Bay.
I like that.
We're the favorite by 3.5. I think it should be more, but whatever. I think this is a little bit tougher of a game.
New York, Tennessee?
I think Tennessee's going to win, unfortunately.
Same.
New York has a more talented team, in my opinion.
And then give me one more. Or are you going to do them all?
No. Well, I guess I could do my picks, and then you could do yours.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, I think New York has a more talented team overall. But I think Tennessee is playing, I think the way their system is, they probably, and it's in Tennessee, I just think they run the ball well.
Okay.
And I don't think Willis is a bad, or not Willis.
Yeah, Malik Willis.
Will Levis.
Oh, you're talking about Tennessee now. Yeah, Will Levis.
I don't think he's a bad quarterback. San Fran, I got them. If McCaffrey's healthy, I got them. Even then, I think they'll still win.
Okay.
I got New England beating Seattle.
That's not happening, but
Well, it looked like Seattle was having trouble with stopping the run
okay, well,
because it didn't look like Denver had any touchdowns from their receivers, right? So it was definitely runs. And Ramondre Stevenson, you just mentioned him. I think
him.
he's pretty good. I hate New England, but I still think they're gonna win.
This game shouldn't even be a game.
I'm gonna go Washington.
I like that.
I'm gonna go Washington. I think the Chargers are gonna blow out Carolina, unless somehow Bryce Young turns into the best quarterback in NFL somehow. I think Cleveland is actually going to beat Jacksonville.
Deshaun Watson?
It's in Jacksonville, but yeah, I just think I don't know, man. I think Cleveland has a solid defense. They lost last game, right? What was the score of that game? Oh, they got blown out. Okay. Dallas, but that's a tough game. I don't know. That one's I'll change. I'll go Jacksonville.
You're going Jacksonville?
I'll go Jacksonville. I'm gonna go Baltimore. That's kind of a no-brainer to me. The LA game could be close with how they played last game. It says Arizona's favored by 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go LA. I'm gonna go Denver. I'm gonna go Kansas City, and I'm gonna go Houston.
And Houston.
As much as I would prefer the Bears to win.
I hate the Bears.
Well, we need a division.
I hate the Bears.
We need a division loss we need them to lose.
All right. Let me do mine.
You talk about the Monday night game or no?
I want to pick mine for Sunday.
Okay.
Real quick. So I'm opposite of you on this first one.
You going to New Orleans?
I'm going Saints over Cowgirls. I'm going Detroit over Tampa, especially if he can get Amon-Ra St. Brown active. It's going to be crazy. I'm going Colts over Green Bay.
Okay.
Without Jordan Love, I think.
Yeah. Even with Jordan Love, I still think.
Malik Willis was just. He got in. He looked like. You remember that scene in Adam Sandler's Longest Yard where the little short fat Mexican dude gets in there to play quarterback? That's what Malik Willis looked like for the 3 snaps that he did.
I think Josh Jacobs did pretty good though. I will say that.
He started out slow, but he picked it
up. If we have a run defense like we did last week, then he could be a problem. I hope not. I hope we get that together, but I'm still going Colts.
I'm going New York over Tennessee. I think that New York's pass defense is there.
Okay.
And Will Levis is not a very accurate quarterback. He makes a lot of dumb decisions. And then 49ers, Vikings. I think this is going to be closer than what they have it at. They have the 49ers winning by 5. Well, that's what the line's set at. So obviously San Fran's a favorite, and it's in Minnesota. I personally think I'm going to have to go Vikings.
Okay.
And then after that, we're going to go Seattle, New England. I just don't see New England. The only reason why I want to go with New England is because it's in Foxborough.
Yeah.
So I'm going New England on that. I'm going to go New England on that.
Okay.
Seattle is a favorite, but by a field goal, basically. Mm-hmm. New York, Washington, this game shouldn't even be on TV. I would rather watch a JUCO football team play. For the sake of the podcast, we're going to go with Washington because I don't know who's worse, the Giants or Carolina.
The Commander? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Then we're going to go Los Angeles here, the Chargers. Chargers.
Favorite quarterback, that's Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Then we got Cleveland, Jacksonville. I'm going Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I don't think Deshaun Watson has it in him.
No.
Baltimore is going to shit on Gardner Minshew and his Raiders, which for the sake of Gardner Minshew, I hope he does good because I like him. Arizona versus Los Angeles, the Rams. I think
it's going to be a tough game.
I think I'm going Arizona.
Okay.
Only reason why I want to go Arizona is because Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't get targeted. I think they work off of that and they spread the ball out more, and Kyler Murray is able to actually pull it off. Denver, Pittsburgh. I like Bo Nix.
Yes, I'm going Denver on that too.
I don't think Russell Wilson will play.
No. And Justin Fields is their starter now.
Which ain't horrible.
No, he's better than Russell Wilson in my opinion, but now at least.
So I'm going Denver on that one too. And then Kansas City's going to shit on Cincinnati. Since Joe Burrow needs to leave, that's a fucking... That place is a joke. Chicago versus Houston. Caleb Williams is a bust.
I don't think so. I think it's one game in. You can't say that.
So I'm taking Houston.
Much as I want the Bears to win that, I do think Houston wins.
So we have...
He's like 4 or 5 different.
So we'll see how we do. And then another thing I want to do while we're live together.
Live?
Well, not live, but on TV.
TV, huh?
I'm famous. I want to go in here on my FanDuel account. What we're going to do is, because you don't bet.
No, I'm about to start doing some bets this year.
Okay, well, this is going to be a $1 bet.
Okay.
We're going to take a team from each game. So Bills, Dolphins. That's the Thursday night game. It's going to be a great game, and Miami's favorited.
I'm going Bills on that.
You think money line?
But I'm gonna let you
pick. I'm gonna let you pick what you want to do on the first game. So any three of those.
So I would pick the over.
The big dog bet of the week.
I would do the over on points. Over 48 points.
Click it.
Over 48.5.
So that's he's got to get 49. Saints
That's
Cowgirls.
combined, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Saints Cowgirls. I don't think they win by a touchdown, but I think Saints win.
So are you doing over under? Or you're gonna do money line?
Money line. I'm taking Saints straight up, and then I'm gonna let you take this game, Tampa Bay, Detroit. As much as this is hurting me, because you think Tampa Bay is gonna beat Detroit.
I mean, you think the Cowboys are gonna lose with the Saints? It's definitely gonna be under 50 points, I think. But I think that's the smart bet here. I'm gonna pick the under on that.
Okay, Browns, Jacksonville. You got to go Jacksonville straight up.
Chargers, Panthers. Is that the spread, and this is the over?
Mm-hmm. Nope, this is
the money line.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we're gonna go here to Las Vegas, Baltimore. Baltimore wins this for sure. I think it's by more than 10. So I'm gonna take the spread.
Yeah. See, I would have picked the over on the points there, over 41. I think that's a safer bet.
Well, it was my bet, not yours.
I know. I think this game's going to be over 38.5 points.
Okay, what do we got here? Colts, Packers. I want to skip this game because I don't want to bet
on your.
I don't want to. I don't
just pick the over and under on the points. That's probably the smartest way. If you don't want to pick the money line, pick the over under. Because your heart or whatever wants to pick the Colts, obviously.
I think the Colts are going to win.
I do too. So pick the over or under.
41 points.
So that's
pretty low.
It is pretty low.
We're going to go over.
Okay.
Yeah, you get this shit game. Giants, Washington.
I know I said different. You got to throw.
If this hits, whatever it is, I'm going to split 50-50 with you. We're 25-75 because of taxes.
This would be a crazy-ass win, by the way. I'm trying to remember on the spread here. So they have to win by more than 2.5?
So they have to win by 3.
Yeah. Or more.
3 or more, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to win by 3 or more.
I don't think I like that. I don't think the Giants see a chance. I like Arizona here. Winning by, they got it set to 2.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, too.
We're going to go over.
You want to go over 50?
Over 50. Arizona's going to go crazy.
It's going to be a gunslinger show. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to...
There's going to be a lot of passing yards. I'm going to be betting on the over on the quarterback's passing yards when it comes time.
Going Chiefs, obviously. It's going to be under 48 points, though.
Pittsburgh, Broncos. It's an ugly game. It's in Denver.
Except for you could say on this, I want to go back to this. I think the Bengals have... No, they haven't beat the Chiefs. That's right. Never mind. Wait, actually, they did beat the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl, right? And then they lost.
I think...
Yeah, so I think they might have the Chiefs' number in the history.
Pittsburgh, Denver at home. Bo Nix taking the dub. The Bears.
I'm going to go under 46.
Falcons, Eagles. Yeah, it's definitely got to be the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's the Monday night game. I don't even want to bet on it. Yeah, I will. Fuck it. No, we're not going to do a Monday night game.
I think the Eagles are winning, by the way.
Yeah, we'll put $5 on it to win $25,000. Got that bet in.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we're $25,000 richer next time.
Put it all towards a new studio.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on, or you think we're good here?
I think episode 1 of Beers and Boards is done.
All right, we'll put it down in the books. See you next time.